All right, so it is time to go ahead and take a tour of the class that I created. So let's first cover who my audience is. So my audience is sixth grade math students. And in specific, these are students who are higher level sixth grade math students who I would allow to advance their math knowledge. So one thing that I usually struggle with every year is how to effectively advance students when they are obviously having an easier time with the curriculum than other students. I typically find enrichment a little harder to do as opposed to interventions for struggling students. So this would typically be something that I would maybe work on, or I would have students join for small group time. So these students would work through this course through small group time, and instead of working on the actual curriculum, because obviously they already have advanced through the regular curriculum, and they're ahead of everybody else because they're a little bit further advanced. So so this is what this course would be geared towards. Like I said, I've always struggled with what do I do with those kids who just learn quicker and catch on quicker, or are maybe just not in the right class and they need that extra push and to challenge themselves. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I put up here is the welcome screen. So what this does, and this is one of my favorite parts of my course, is that the units are all down here, but I figured it'd be easier, instead of them having to scroll all the way down to the bottom, I figured it'd be easier if they had like kind of a home base of like, okay, here's where all of the units are located as well. So if they click on, say they're working on unit 5, they can just click on this unit 5 and it goes straight to unit 5 for them. So I figured that would be an easier way of getting to the units, a quicker way instead of having to scroll all the way down. But that's what that's for. They also have a link to Dreambox. This is a math website for math games. And then they also have Prodigy, which is another math game. So all those links are on there. I thought that would be pretty cool to put on there. I just created it on a Google Slide right here. And then I embedded the Google Slide into my announcements. So definitely kind of hits them in the face right when they join the right when they join the course. So it's right there, right for so they can see it really quickly. The other thing I really like about my course is that I put a calendar in here. So my plan would be, since I'm pulling these kids for small group time, and this is the course they're working on during small group time, my plan would be to have like due dates for everything. So for example, this right here would be when the adding integers homework is due. This is just hypothetical because I haven't like rolled this course out yet. Since this year's almost done, I'm probably gonna start this next year. But I could put like when those assignments are due, or if not, I could just make this to where these are the days they're completing them, so they can kind of see like what their schedule is. And the good thing about this is actually Google Calendar. So all I have to really do is open my Google Calendar and add it here, and then it automatically updates in Schoology because it's the Google Calendar. So any updates that I make are live, which is really cool. I love that. I didn't know I could do that before this assignment, so I'm really excited to use that more often. Then we have my units. Oh, before my units, let's look at badges. So I also included badges, which I've never done before in Schoology, and well, this was kind of cool because it's almost like you're giving the kids stickers or awards for like progressing through the curriculum. So I have the 7 units in here, and when they complete a unit, I'll award them the badge. And that'll be awarded based on them completing all the assignments and fully understanding the curriculum. So I can give one kid at a time a badge, or I can give everybody a badge, but since I don't have any students, I can't really show you that. But so there's that. Then I have, go back to my course. Then I have the different units. So right now, my plan, this is like a very rough draft of my course right now. I kind of just planned on adding like a video, some notes, and an activity for the students to complete for every topic. I feel like maybe in the future I can add a little bit more and perfect it, but this is what I have for now. So my unit 1 is integers, so positive and negative whole numbers. They would go through these 3 sections: adding and subtracting integers, multiplying and dividing integers, and absolute value. I kind of like how you can add pictures to a folder, so it really makes the course pop instead of it just being like all words. I know I'm a visual person. A lot of kids these days are visual learners, so it really helps to have the pictures there. But if we go into the folder, what I've figured out is how to embed YouTube videos in here rather than having them just linked and open in a different window. I really like that you can embed them. That way students can just watch them right here. Really nice. And then I have notes that I had on the different topics. So they're just PDF files made from Smart Notebook of problems that are solved, just so I can show that just so I can show them like extra problems that are solved out. And the same went for subtracting integers, and then I have another notes for comparing and ordering integers. So they have a lot of supplements there to help them. And then I did create an assignment for each one. So typically what I would have them do is I would have them submit their assignment through Kami. So they would open it with Kami, and then it'll load here. There we go. So yeah, they would open this, and then I was using this for a video earlier, but they would open this and they can either just do it right in Kami, or I know some kids like prefer not to do it in Kami because sometimes the Chromebooks are kind of hard, like the touch screens are hard to write on. So they could also, I gave them the option of printing the PDF, taking a picture of their work, and then submitting it as an image. Now I would add a disclaimer in there probably. I'll probably change this later, but I would probably add a disclaimer that they need to make sure that the picture they take is legible. So I've had in the past, kids will take pictures of their work and they like take a picture of themselves in there with it. So it's like the sheet's over here and then it's like all the way back here, so I can like barely read what's going on. So yeah, I would probably add in there that it needs to be legible in order for them to submit like that. But yeah, so that's what typically a folder looks like. So I have adding and subtracting integers. I have multiplying and dividing integers that looks pretty much the same on the inside here. And then I have absolute value. And then and sometimes I'll have like activities that are actually online. Like this one's a Khan Academy practice, and I told them that they can when they submit, they can put a comment instead of, or like into their submission. So I told them to just comment submitted when you're finished with the Khan Academy practice, so I can check and on Khan Academy and see that they finished. But another thing that I would probably add, and this is, I was just kind of getting used to the whole idea of using the assessment tool. But another thing that I would probably add to each one is at the very end. I only did it for this one because this is kind of like a very rough draft of this course, but I would add like a test or a check-in at the end of each unit. And so this is just an example of what like a sample of maybe what I would do. So it's just like 5 quick questions I made up, and this is what the quiz would look like for them. And so this would be a good like assessment tool for me to use to just to see if they're understanding everything that they're learning. So like there's an absolute value question, ordering the numbers from least to greatest, greater than, less than, or equal to, and then they have to order these or put these on the number line, and then just solve those 4 questions real quick. So I just made those up, but I feel like I could probably go through every unit and just make a quick 5-question quiz so I can see if they're really grasping what they're learning in the course. But then, I mean, the rest of the units are pretty much the same. The second unit is negative fractions. So they learned about positive and negative integers. Now they're applying it with fractions. So they got a couple videos in there with a couple activities to complete. And then we have unit 3 is negative decimals. So same stuff, but with decimals instead. So they got a couple of videos in here, and then an assignment at the end. And then unit 4 is all about ratios and proportions. And so they'll learn about how to cross multiply and solve for the variable. There's a fun little pumpkin coloring activity in there, which I think would be a fun thing to do. And then, let's see. And then unit 5 is on percent. So they'll learn about percent increase and decrease, and then they'll learn about discount, markup, sales tax, and tips. So again, same thing here. We got the video, we got the notes, we got the assignment, videos, notes, assignment. I also, on this one, I would probably do this more often, especially since I've decided that I'm going to be like, yes, they are kind of working at their own pace, but they're also going to be working in their small groups on this, like when we're doing like math workshop days. So I think that it would make sense for me to put some discussion questions in here so they can discuss with each other virtually. So this would just be an example of a discussion question. So I just put like, why would someone give a tip? Can you think of a time when someone you know gave a tip? And so they would just like kind of bounce ideas off of each other in here. So I think that'd be pretty cool if I put that in more spots. But I was just trying out the discussion feature just to see how it worked. Let's see, and then so unit 6 is expressions, and then unit 7's equations. So with the expression, same thing, combining like terms, video, notes, practice, distributive property, video, notes, practice, pretty standard, same as before. And then finally my unit 7 is the equations unit. I split those up into 2 units because I feel like it's just a really, it is a lot of information. But yeah, we got writing equations, video, notes, practice, solving one-step equations, video, notes, practice. And then we got the solving multi-step equations, again, videos, notes, practice. So pretty standard, pretty repetitive, which I think is good because then kids get into a routine of what they're supposed to be doing. But yeah, that's pretty much my whole course. Again, plan would be, and it doesn't seem like it's I mean, it is a lot. It's a lot of information. What I would do, I think, is have them like start working on their own, and then we would kind of like continue. Like I would pull them, ideally, I would pull them once a week to work on this stuff. So really, we're talking what they're like. I can't even remember how many weeks there are in a school year, but if I'm only pulling them once a week to work on this stuff, then I think this is a pretty good start. I do think that there are some things that I can maybe add to it, but really I think that this assignment was really good because it just perfected my Schoology skills, and I really learned some good tools that I can use. Like this home screen thing, I'm like literally obsessed with. I love this. It just makes it look so fun and so organized. And the calendar, I'm like really sad that I didn't know about this until now, because the fact that I can just update it on Google Calendar. I use Google Calendar all the time for my work meetings. So the fact that I can update my Google Calendar and it just like appears here is just like incredible. So yeah. If you have any questions about my course, just feel free to let me know. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I'm pretty excited with what I did here. So yeah, that's pretty much it.